welcome everybody to the BATXCAVE podcast. Well,
It's
not
actually
podcast.
pronounced Batch Cave.
BATXCAVE?
Yeah, Batch Cave. Because it comes from the word bachillerat, which is a
Oh.
Catalan word. Yeah.
Right. Welcome to not a podcast, but it's an interview with Joder or Joder, as Thick says.
Yeah.
So let's get this started. All right, Joder, we're gonna ask you about some questions about your album because positive as feedback. All right, from me and the gang. Question one: what inspired you to do this album? What were the things that motivation make it?
Well, first of all, I think I've always been I've always wanted to create, like everything I do, I see. I've always thought like, hey, maybe I can do that, as a creation thing. And I've been in music for quite a long time now. And when I discovered hip hop, I was really interested in all of it, And so after some months of just listening to hip hop, I was like, damn, maybe I can do this, too. And I started writing things. I was already doing things on FL Studio, so I started like transitioning a bit to hip hop too. And I don't know, I just started exploring. It was kind of I think I've always been very creative, I've always wanted to create, and I discovered a thing that it's really cool to do in hip hop.
Oh, that's interesting
Huh.
because that's actually how I got into it myself.
Yeah.
Then progress started getting better every year.
Yeah.
Okay, Joda, what is the meaning of batch whatever you
Batch
called it?
Cave?
Because yeah,
All right.
like
This is actually, look, I don't think, like, without all the like with all bullshit apart, like I think this name is really good, I've put a name together that, like, I'm astonished by myself, um so it's, well, first of all, it's an obvious reference to Batcave, right?
yeah, I see
Um
that off the bat.
yeah, off the bat.
Oh,
Okay.
I can't believe you got that you got that fast.
Yeah. Okay, so then it's also a reference to something called The Allegory of the Cave by Plato. I don't know if you know that, but Plato is a philosopher, a Greek philosopher, and he's got one of his texts is called that. And well, it you can search online, but it basically tells a story of that we could all be living in a cave seeing shadows and not actually the reality. And the album goes in a bit in that way, but the real meaning of the name is divided into three parts, right? So if you're listening now, I would suggest you to look at the logo of the album. So like the upper right part, no, the lower part, lower right part of the cover. So first of all, we have batch, which comes from the word bachillerat, which is the name of the school years I'm doing, right? So that symbolizes basically study and learning and knowledge, which is something I've always been very passionate for. Then we got the cave part, which is reversed in the logo, right? So you actually read VAC, which if you don't know, is VAC is the Valve anti-cheat system. and that symbolizes gaming, which is another big part of my life. And then finally you have music, which is symbolized by a music score in the logo, and that is the 5 lines, which you can see, like, you have 2 lines, one at the top and one at the bottom, right? And then you have the E from cave, that is the 3 lines that are left, and with an X in the middle. So that's like the 3 pillars of my life represented in the logo.
Damn, Jay, what are you fucking cancer?
That's why I say that. Like, I'm really astonished by myself. How did I think about this? I don't know. It just came. I don't know.
Okay. We got another question, right? Started BATXCAVE. You said it was about you stuck in a cave and you thinking out, like, going back at yourself, like going back and forth, and then you started to hallucinate or see like demons around you. Was the main cause of it? Was that you were stuck in a cave, or was it was later on?
What do you mean, like? So you mean like?
Did the concept?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did the concept of the album change when it started getting closer to its release?
Okay. So, I think the name was one of the first things that came. So, with the name, the concept of the cave, right? But it's true that it changed a lot from the first moment I thought of it until its release, actually. Like, in the beginning, it was just a cave, right? Some place where I would meditate about my life and what about these years of school that I'm going through, that can't change my life because, well, it's pretty decisive. But, well, that's kind of the concept, right? But as it went through time, I added little things, right? So first, in the beginning, I thought it would start like in a class and I would get sequestrated or something, and then I would get to the cave. I also thought that I could go in a truck or something. Like, actually the second track, Fear, was actually meant to be called Truck of Fear in the beginning. That's why in a part I say now I'm stuck in a truck of fear. Wait, I don't remember my own lyrics. Whatever. Yeah, but then I started then I thought maybe I could have a character that would guide me through all of this, right? And I came up with the character that's the demon or the spirit. Then I grabbed inspiration from A Christmas Carol to build that character, and actually as you go through the album, it goes darker and darker. Like, in the beginning, it's just a spirit that tells you, yeah, let me guide you through your past, and then he wants to fucking kill me in the cave.
Yeah, because wait, is that why Dream was made? Like that, or?
Dream, well, actually, I was talking about Demon. Demon is me talking to the spirit, saying, this is done. I'm not stuck in a trap anymore, you know? And then Dream it's kind of the escape, you know? It's me, it's the evolution of Demon, but with an actual escape from it, you know? I don't know if I'm explaining it well.
It's okay. Wait, I get it now.
Huh.
'Cause, so, real demon, or is it spiritually, or like inside your mind?
Well, I think that's up to interpretation. Like, if it's a demon or only a spirit, not even I know it for certain. But what I like, the whole BATXCAVE thing, it's like it's not really a physical journey, right? It's all mental. It's all, in the end, the demon or the spirit is me talking to myself, right? In the end, like the whole thing is me thinking about the thing. Well, the synopsis of the album is my fear of the future makes me want to forget the past, the present, and look into the past, right? So that's the whole thing. That's like going away from reality and go into a place, but in my mind, right? A place in my mind, and that's where the batch cave is. It's not really a physical place. It's it's like psychological almost, you know?
So, you know, you know the album Thoughts and Prayers. I'm coming out
Uh-huh.
on December, right?
Yeah.
We had a similar concept, but
Mm-hmm.
not like
It
really
it goes in different
similar, but
ways, but it's kind of like
like it talks about ourselves, like it goes into
uh-huh.
our
Yeah,
mind.
exactly.
Oh, will there be a sequel to Batcave?
That's an interesting question. I've also asked myself that question. Um, I don't know. Um, I think BATXCAVE is a resource of my thought. It's me saying, wait, I cannot keep being this way. It's me saying, wait a minute. What am I doing with my life? I need to refocus. I need to get my thoughts straight. You know, it's a pause from reality in order to me to understand myself, understand what I'm doing, and hopefully go in a better direction from that. So, will there be a sequel to BATCHCAVE? Maybe if I need one. Um, maybe if my life needs one. But even if there's not a BATCHCAVE 2, there might be something following up
Similar.
to it. Yeah, like it's not really BATCHCAVE 2, but maybe it's very likely that a future album is refers a lot to BATCHCAVE, or is like the continuation, but not really. I don't know how to say it, but like
Like the Marshall Mathers LP2, like MMLP2.
yeah, kind of like um it would feel like a continuation, but it's not really. So, and plus I feel like everything that I do from this point will be some kind of a sequel, you know, because I've BATCHCAVE, I thought it as a the moment of my, like when I was born as a rapper, as a producer, as a musician, you know. It's like my 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 appearance, my first appearance, you know.
Right. Okay. So, Joda,
Yeah.
when did you start the process of Batch Cave?
Well, I think BATCHCAVE is all I've done. That's like it's strange, but so from the moment I started writing, which was like 2 years ago, I had some idea of putting it into an album, and that thought of an album was building up, and that was eventually gonna be BATCHCAVE. So I would say 2 years ago, I started thinking about BATCHCAVE, thinking about writing it and building it, because as I said, like it's very weird now that I'm writing something and it's not meant to be on BATCHCAVE because it's already finished. it's really it's strange to me to think about, because all I've done for hip hop was BATCHCAVE until now.
So you're writing or something right now, like you're starting something else?
You know, I think a lot, and I have that makes you have ideas, right? It's what thinking is about. Um, so yeah, I have a lot of ideas for albums, like just concepts, right? And well, right now I'm in an exam period for school, so I'm not very focused on music, but yeah, I'm kind of working, not right now, but in my mind, putting together thoughts for a possible future project. I have like three concepts that may get an album. Like I have many concepts, but some are not clear or they're like kind of blurred in my mind. So as of now, I have like three things that I might do, but I like to focus on one at a time.
Uh, in Batch Cave,
Hmm?
were you ever asked for like to be? Has someone asked you if you wanted a feature on it?
On my album, you mean?
Wait, what? Wait, like
Do you mean on my
yeah,
album? Like if I wanted a feature on my own album or in theirs?
like if that person asked if they could be featured on Batch Cave.
Oh yeah. Um. Uh. I think a couple times, like one or two times, like um, or not like, yo, can I be a feature on your album? But like more like, um, can I
Do you
can I
want
can
a
I
feature?
can I participate in your music? You know.
Right.
But yeah, tell me.
Um, has anyone at your school or your friends told you about like your music? Like, have they brought up your music before?
Have they what?
Like
Sorry.
now? Oh, wait, never mind. You're not in school anymore.
I am in school.
Has anyone brought up your music like Batch Cave?
Like in a conversation, for example.
Now,
Yeah, I mean when I released it, I passed it to all my friends, everyone I could, and well, people have responded me, and even like in person, like in school. Sometimes the other day I was walking in the corridor, and a kid came by and said, "Hey, I listened to your album. I liked it." That's awesome.
um, did anyone from your family or your friends like put some inspiration on the album? Like they inspired you to make it?
What do you mean? Like me taking out ideas from my friends or my family?
Well, not like taking ideas, but like getting some inspiration from the songs.
So like if the songs are based on them somehow.
I forgot what the song about, like your love for your country.
Yeah, family.
Forgot what it was. Something like that. Like your country inspired that song.
Yeah,
Did any of
okay,
your
yeah.
family members?
Well, yeah. Actually, War is about my father and my mother, right? And the relationship with them. And
Yeah.
I think it's perfectly portrayed in that song. So like if you want to know how I am with them, you listen to that song. And then let me think. No, like apart from War, when it comes to family and friends, no. But like outside of Batch Cave, I did a song to my best friend for his birthday called Major, which is on my SoundCloud, and that's inspired on him, I guess.
Oh, wait. Okay. Joda.
Mm-hmm.
Um. What is your relationship with? Wait, no, wait. Like a record deal or like a perform at a festival. From like any of the sources you post your music on.
Can you repeat the beginning of the question, please?
You ever gotten like a message from like a record deal or
Oh,
like a
uh,
company that you wanted to perform at a festival or something?
no, that didn't happen yet. I hope
The reason I
someday.
asked you this is because
Yeah.
someone a festival actually told me that they wanted me to perform.
Damn, that's awesome. Um, well, no one ever told me, "Hey, do you want to come?" But um, like sometimes I see like what do you advertisements for, "Hey, we are looking for performances," and sometimes I've gone in and say, "Hey, I want."
What's it called? What's have you ever been stuck in a writer's block phase
Oh
where
yeah,
you can't continue?
yeah, that sucks. I guess it happens to everybody, really. Does it happen to you?
Yeah, a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Or like where and then like once you write it down, you can't continue with it because
Yeah, yeah, and that I think that it really shows in my like if you look at the times of Batchcave, you see that most songs are short, right? Um,
yeah, most songs are short, they're like two to almost three.
yeah. So that's because sometimes I write one verse, cool. I write two verses, cool, and then I want to write a third one, and I'm like, shit, man, I don't know, I can't just like I'm done with it, right? Uh,
Yeah.
but well, I've learned to say, okay, I'm done. It's okay that it's 20 minutes. Not 20, 2 minutes 50. It's okay. It's okay. There is no big deal. No one's gonna die because it's 3 minutes long. It's if I feel like it's finished, right? Like there's no problem. And but sometimes I have the worst thing is when you have an idea and you don't have nothing written about it and you want to write about it and the words just don't come out. That's so frustrating, and it happens sometimes. But I think sometimes the best way to get through it is just leave it for a couple hours, maybe a couple days, and then come back with fresh mind.
All right. Uh, Joda, what are you? Wait, do you expect um your next album to be like what? Do you expect it to be more like lighthearted or take a darker step from Batch Cave? Because Batch Cave was actually like, yeah, and it was portrayed perfectly. Like it was not forced. It was raw.
Mm-hmm. So how do I expect my next album to be, right?
Yeah.
Mm, I think this raw essence is kind of natural to me. Like ever since I was a little kid, I've always said things how they are, and I've had many problems because I'm real 100% of the times, you know. So that's kind of natural to me, and I hope it doesn't disappear in the future. But when it comes to my next album, I think my next album will be kind of without saying much about it. It will be about so Batch Cave talks about my past, right? Um,
Yeah.
and it ignores my. It's afraid of the future, and it ignores the past. That's the time play. My next album will be like that's why I said there will not be a clear sequel, but the albums will be influenced by Batch Cave. So the next album will be kind of like, okay, I'm out of the Batch Cave, and now I can focus on my future. Now I can, what am I doing? What do I want my future to be? How do I wanna like? I've just come out of a cave. I was stuck in a cave. What am I gonna do now? That's kind of the idea of my next album.
Um, mm, so you like Eminem as much as we do.
Mm-hmm.
Did he inspire? Did he inspire like your album as well?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, I think he's the main motivation of why I'm writing and why I'm doing hip hop. I mean, I discovered hip hop through him, and just because of that, I'm infinitely grateful for him. Right? Um, I think you can relate to that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And like, yeah,
You also
that's
hear the
yeah.
also hear the Kendrick Lamar influence in your music. If you, I think I remember you saying you like Kendrick Lamar as well.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Is there any other influences in your album?
Yeah, I think
Like,
the main influences are definitely Eminem because he, like, not because I try to take out the ideas from him, but mainly because he's the one that taught me what hip hop is. So my formation in this genre is by Eminem, basically, you know. Um, and then when it comes to production, I look up a lot to Dre. So you can say I've put out some ideas uh, with Dre, and then also Kendrick Lamar about the concepts. And I think one is really clear. Like, you know, you know how To Pimp a Butterfly has a poem.
yeah, at the end of every song.
Yeah, well, Dream is the poem of BATXCAVE.
What's it called? Did you, okay, one thing that really like honestly like it really blew me away was how in Batcave you knew how to sing.
Okay.
Was it natural singing? Like, did you naturally know how to sing, or were you taught it?
I think it's yeah, no, I never had class like singing classes. Like, but one thing that like I've always sung from a really small age, you know. So I think I'm not a natural great singer. Okay, so but it's true that I've practiced a lot because I've sung a lot, like for myself, you know.
Um, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do you think there should be more mumble rap? Or do you think mumble rap is okay, like in the game? Do you think it's okay? Yeah.
Wait, what?
You think mumble rap is a good thing for hip hop
More rappers?
rappers? Like the ones who. Oh, I think mumble rap is an overrated term, but I'm just gonna call them
Oh,
trap rappers.
mumble rappers. Okay, like I thought you was talking about like rappers in general. Um,
Yeah, well, yeah, something like that. But yeah, mumble rappers.
well, that it's not really my thing, you know. Uh, I don't like the whole trap mumble that kind of genre. So or subgenre, right? Um, I don't know. I think, well, it's okay if they want to do their thing, but I think it strays away from hip hop. Actually, I hear it and I don't hear hip hop. You know what I mean?
Hear more R&B, like
Yeah, I hear like it's totally okay if that's their thing and that's like it's cool, right? But to call it hip hop, I don't know. It's strange because it doesn't fit in the culture, the definition, the values, the message, the you know.
also wait, what was that other thing? Um, was war politically charged? Like, Was it meant to be political? War?
No,
The
no,
song war?
no. Can you interpret it that politically?
Because I don't know if I'm hearing this right, but somewhere like in the song you mentioned about like
Oh, okay. The fist and
yeah,
socialism. Yeah. No. Well, there are two political references in the whole album. That and fear when I say artists are too left for our world, right? Um.
yeah,
Well, they're not really serious. They're kind of serious, but whenever I'll talk about politics, it can be seriously or really goofy, right? And that's the goofy part. Oh, that was not in war. That was in teacher, right?
yeah. Someone like it was, yeah, it was like in teacher.
Okay. The when I'm sitting at the bare fist, but not a socialist. Is that it?
Yeah, like yeah, because someone could take that like, oh, he's like talking about socialism and like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess.
Well, mainly the main point was that I wanted to punch a teacher, right? And well, the socialist part fitted in, and I just put it. Am I insulting socialists? No. But it's not incoherent with my thought, you know. But it's not an attack, and it's not meant to be political, at least, you know.
Yeah. Um. Wait. Oh shit. You do you do you ever fear that one day all your friends will just disappear?
One.
They'll stop talking to you because
Why?
because I remember there was a bet in BATXCAVE where you said you feared
um
naming you or like
in fear or what?
oh, I keep switching up. I keep switching up the songs. I forgot what it was, but you talked about that you fear like life and like you fear.
Oh, I'm afraid my life kills me, and I'm afraid I witness it. Is that it?
Yeah.
Um, that's difficult to answer. Uh, I think that line is really powerful, and it's I don't know how to explain it. First of all, no, I don't fear that my friends quit talking to me. And like I have very few friends and really loyal, and I have really great friendships, you know, which are like two or three, right? And the rest of the world, I don't care. Um, or I do, like I have that common love. I love all people, right? But it's not like I think you understand. Whatever.
Like you respect the whole world. You only you respect everybody, but if there's one individual person that's mean, you'll be mean back to them.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is there are two different things for me, and you can love all like or have that sympathy for all people just because they're people, right? And then you can have the social thing. I'm not really into the social thing, but I have to consider friends social, right? And
Yeah.
if we wanted to say anything about my social life, it would be my two or three friends, and that's it. But about the line, so I'm afraid my life kills me, and I'm afraid I witness it. It's about how I was putting my effort. Like I was not like before Batch Cave, right? I was not really putting effort into studying, into like it was really hard for me to get into something, and mainly music taught me to how to just the effort, like putting potential into action, right? Like if I didn't do BATXCAVE, I wouldn't have learned this, like to put ideas and projects into actual things. And that's what kind of what it is about. Like I'm afraid my life kills me. Is I'm afraid the way I do things ends up just destroying me because it's not profitable. It's not practical, you know. And I'm afraid I witness it's like, damn, fuck, my life is going through me and I'm watching it pass like a train, you know. I'm watching it go and I can't do anything. That's the I'm afraid I witness part.
I have one thought in mind that like, okay, Joda, let's say that one day your music blows up.
Mhm.
What will be the first thought process you do? Will you be pressured to release more music, or will you tell the fans to hold up, like
Well,
let it slide in?
first step I
Like
would
the
be blown away. Like I would be damn.
uh,
I would be really happy but I don't know actually. I think that's one of those things you don't really know until you're in the spot, right?
because it would come as a shock, like
Yeah,
like
I think so. I don't think I'm prepared. Like I'd love it, but I don't know if I'm prepared. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Who knows? But my intentions is to keep doing things because I do this mainly as a creative thing. I'm almost like I need to do something, right? And creating is the best thing I can do to alleviate that feeling, you know. So I just need to do it. I think I will always have my rhythm. So I don't think exterior pressure can change that as much as it would be bad for me. So it's like if I blow up, it's almost they need something new, right? And even if I lose that opportunity, it's just my normal rhythm, and it's a shame that maybe I can't keep up. I don't know.
I think that's what most successful artists struggle, is that artists, I mean, fans want more music,
Yeah.
and like that takes away the creative process for them.
Yeah.
Um, are you an independent artist, or do you want a record deal? Like record deal can publish your music, like they can
Hmm.
they
You
can
you mean like my intentions?
yeah.
I love this. You know, I love this independent feeling. I love to do it all myself and like really like when I was a little kid and like I thought like I heard a song on the radio, right? And was by Jimmy Smith. I'm inventing a name just to not name anyone. Jimmy Smith, right? Jimmy Smith. The song by Jimmy Smith. And I heard the song by Mr. Jimmy Smith, and I was like, hey, Jimmy Smith is really good. And when I discovered actually Jimmy Smith only sung the fucking song, I was really disappointed because I really like Jimmy Smith. And I just love that I'm doing all myself, you know? And that the whole creativity is mine. And even the marketing thing, and I like this independent thing, but in this industry, I think if I end up growing, it might be inevitable to end up like with help, you know. Did you understand?
I understand that.
But I mean, if someday a label comes to me and say, "Hey, do you want to come?" I will say yes, because I will be like, "Damn, they want me," and I will want to it's like I don't know why, but it's natural that we find, oh, a label wants me, I'm saying yes. It's almost an instinct, right?
Okay, so like one con with like I have in mind if you ever get signed or I get signed is that myself like in the studio because most artists in the studios like they rap from the top of their head of the lyrics they wrote down.
Hmm.
You know, you want to be in control of everything and like there's someone with you like recording your vocals and like
Yeah,
doing the beats.
that's the thing. um I just love being like doing it myself, you know. I don't know how it is to do it with other people. Like, for example, one thing is collaborating, right? Like, for example, if I'm doing a song with you, and for example you do the beat, I'm completely okay with it because I feel like it's a collaboration. But when it's like someone working for me, I feel like it's not mine anymore, you know.
To like when I don't know I like no offense to Calix, is that his name, right?
Yeah.
Calix. And when I sent in my vocals and my beat, we had like some trouble, and I was like, I wish I had the program he was using because I want to mix my own vocals because
Hmm.
I confuse him. I don't want to get him. I don't
Yeah,
want to get him
because
mad because
I totally understand it. Like, when he was helping me to mix also, I actually ended up saying no, I'll mix it myself, you know, because of that, just that feeling. But when you get big, it's a shame, but it's almost inevitable, you know.
um on like on like do you ever go on YouTube and see like people put like Eminem type beats? You know that kind of
Yeah.
format. What do you think about that? Do you think we should be
Well,
doing that? Like,
it's the same old thing. um I'm a producer, right, as well, and
uh,
I think the whole producing market is fucked because of that. Like, people, why do people, first off, you gotta ask yourself, why do people do type beats? They do type beats because they're asked to do type beats because rappers want to sound like their favorite rappers, right?
yeah.
So but then if a rapper wants to sound like something else, he goes to the market and only see type beats, and he's like, okay, I guess I'll buy a Jay-Z type beat. You know. It's
Yeah, I see what you mean.
it's like a cycle, and it never ends. It's awful. I don't like it. And congratulations and props to every producer and rapper who's trying to do his own thing, because the market is like, the naturality of the market is totally against it.
Do you think that's what brought up like these new age rappers, like, since they almost all sound the same?
It might, yeah, it might be, yeah.
Uh let's see. Um do you think we should, okay, so one thing that was brought up in the chat was, do you think we should make a collab album with all the users?
Oh
Because
yeah, I'm totally supportive of that idea. Yeah.
we can show off all our skills in one single album.
Yeah. And since we're a lot of people, um, I figure that would be like really good to, as a selective album. Like, how do I explain that? Like, everyone does things, right? And then, for example, I participate in 5 songs, let's say. And if each one of us does 5 songs, well, the album would be huge, right? But we don't want a huge album. We want a cool, good sized album. So we'd have to scratch things, and that's cool because then we'd end up with the best quality things. And I think that's what that's the interesting part of when people do the things with many people.
I think it's also a good thing that we're all like collaborating with each other because what if we get an audience and then the audience will go to the other person's
Yeah, that's great.
music? Like it would become like a huge marketing because we're all
Yeah,
like separate artists with
yeah, that's
separate
awesome.
audiences. Um, right, let's um was your album was some of your album religiously charged? Like was it religious
Um,
sort of certain religious things inspired the album?
well, the the answer is no, but for example, in Chuffed, it starts with 4 years of my life and Lord healed almost all my wounds, right? That's the only single reference to religion, and in teacher you also have not the motherfucking preacher you resemble, but that's not against church. Like it's saying that the teacher sounds like a preacher, like saying what kids have to do when they cannot do another thing. But it's not an attack, right? But I think no, it's not religiously charged because I didn't want it to, because I think religion, at least for me, it's a personal thing and it's something you do with yourself, right? And it's something you choose to believe or not, and then you practice it with yourself, just in your own mind, in your own thoughts, and then you can practice it at other people, like being good with other people and sharing and all. But you don't need to charge those actions with religion. There is no need, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with your message. I really like Batch Cave's message about going back to yourself and thinking, what are you doing? Like, and getting to know yourself, and like having a demon, guide you. But at the end, he's like he turns on you, and then
Yeah, it's like the demon symbolizes like that part of me that wants me stuck in the past, right?
yeah, what's it called? Um, what inspired like the puzzles and all the things you did with Back Cave
Yeah.
before its release?
Well, my best friend and I always do these kinds of things, like for our birthdays and all. For example, the song I released for his birthday, Major, it was part of a huge puzzle I did for him. Like he had to decipher all sorts of things. And actually, in the song, there's a Morse code that is one of the keys for the whole puzzle for him, right? So me and him always do these things, and I thought it was really cool to incorporate it into my album.
Yeah, all right. What's it called? I ran out of questions. All right, all right. Well,
Okay.
um,
Well, if you want to do some final thoughts or just end it here.
let's do some final thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Jonah, what do you have some things to tell for like your audience? What only things to come?
The things to come in the future.
like music wise, and like all that stuff.
Well, um, in the near future, I just want to have a period when I that I can dedicate to features. So like for a long time, because of my album, I've denied features because I was too busy and I wanted to finish it at time. And now I want to do all the features I couldn't do while I was doing BATXCAVE. And then when I'm sick of future, when I'm already like okay, I'm good with it, I will start working on my next project. And then I think music, I've been searching for a creative thing for years, and I've found it finally, I think, which is music. And I'm not gonna, I don't think I will stop doing it anytime soon. So you can expect to hear much more music in the future, and many other things. Because, for example, I'm thinking about writing some kind of philosophical novel, but I'm not quite sure about that. But it could happen in the future, or other kinds of things.
Yeah, that's okay. So before we go, I want to say thank you for like actually like coming up with like straight up sentences throughout the thing, because you know you show expression, and especially in your music
Thanks.
to the audience. Yeah, it's been good listening to us, and like just because this I know that Joda is very passionate about like fucking Batch Cave.
Hmm.
You know, this is our signing off. So good night. We love y'all.
Love you. Peace.
I like to dream sometimes, view the sky, feel no ties. I like to dream sometimes, be the sky, be the tides, leaving myself. My soul is licking, I'm sure it's speaking at a high level in the top. Better breathe, just let it leave. Better grieve. Jeans for nothing when I got the experience popping. Dropping the nickel at it and watch it like it destroy it. I'm no longer my soul, but I like to dream sometimes.